The warrior who sacrificed his entire future for his father's love. The brave soul who vowed never to marry, just to keep a promise. The archer who defeated Parashurama, the conqueror of the universe. The ascetic who was blessed with the boon of choosing his own death. Yes, we are talking about Devavrata, the one whom the world knows as Bhishma Pitamah. But have you ever wondered, why is he called the son of Ganga? Why did he never marry? Why did he never sit on the throne of Hastinapur? Why did he take such a severe vow that he would have no lineage of his own? How did Amba become the cause of his death? And how did he receive the boon of Iccha-Mrityu, death at will? Today we will uncover all these mysteries and glorious tales in this special video. A story that is not just a part of the Mahabharata, but the very soul of sacrifice, dharma, and idealism. So stay with us on this extraordinary journey as we dive into the life and legacy of Bhishma Pitamah. The great-grandfather of the Pandavas and Kauravas, King Shantanu, was in his previous birth a divine soul named Mahabhishak, who had reached heaven. One day, during an assembly in Indra's court, Goddess Ganga arrived. Accidentally, her garment slipped slightly. All the gods lowered their eyes immediately, but Mahabhishak kept staring at her. Indra took this as a breach of divine etiquette and said, "You are no longer worthy of the celestial realm. You will take birth on earth." He noticed that Ganga too enjoyed that gaze. Indra said to her, "You too must be born on earth, in human form. Only when your ego dissolves will you return to the heavens." King Shantanu, who was Mahabhishak in his past life, met Ganga once more on earth, but he had no memory of his previous birth. Ganga remembered everything. She wanted to draw him toward her, but Shantanu was always lost in hunting. Even while standing near the river, he didn't notice Ganga. One day, when he became extremely thirsty and no attendant was around, he looked toward the river. From the waters emerged Ganga in the form of a stunning woman. Shantanu was mesmerized and proposed marriage. Ganga accepted, but with one condition. "You must never question what I do or why I do it." Shantanu, blinded by love, agreed. Ganga became his queen and soon gave birth to a son. But Shantanu was shocked when Ganga took the newborn to the river and drowned him. His heart shattered, but remembering the promise, he stayed silent. This continued. One after the other, she drowned 7 infants in the river. Shantanu endured this agony silently, filled with fear, pain, and helpless love. When the 8th child was born, he could no longer control himself. As Ganga moved to drown the infant, Shantanu stopped her. "Enough! No more! Why are you doing this?" Ganga replied calmly, "You broke your promise. Now I must leave. But before that, I will tell you the truth." In sage Vasishtha's ashram lived a divine cow named Nandini. One day, 8 Vasus, celestial beings, wandered near the ashram with their wives. Prabhas's wife saw Nandini and insisted she wanted the cow. To please her, Prabhas and the other Vasus stole Nandini. When Vasishtha discovered this, he cursed them. "You will all be born on earth as mortals, bound by limitations, and will die as humans." The Vasus pleaded with Ganga, "Give us birth from your womb, but let our lives be extremely short." Ganga agreed. That is why she drowned her first 7 sons to free them instantly from human life. Then she said, "The 8th son, Prabhas, who initiated the theft, must live a full life on earth. I will take him with me and raise him well. After 16 years, I will return him to you." She took the boy and vanished. Shantanu was devastated. His mind drifted away from the kingdom, and the once great king wandered in loneliness. 16 years later, Ganga returned with the boy, Devavrata. He had mastered warfare from Lord Parashurama and learned the Vedas from Brihaspati. The moment Shantanu saw him, his lost joy returned. Devavrata was declared crown prince, and under his leadership, the kingdom prospered. Shantanu again resumed his hunts, and slowly life regained its rhythm. Meanwhile, a young girl named Matsyagandha ferried people across the Yamuna. One day, sage Parashara boarded her boat and was enchanted by her. She too felt drawn toward him, yearning to transform her life. On an island in the Yamuna, she gave birth to a son, Dwaipayana, who later became the legendary Vedvyakha. Before leaving, Parashara granted her a boon. Her fish-like odor vanished, replaced by a divine fragrance. Thus, she was named Satyavati, the woman fragrant with truth. Now her beauty and aura captivated everyone. One day, King Shantanu saw her and decided to marry her. But her father placed a condition. Only her children will sit on the throne of the Kuru dynasty. Shantanu had already made Devavrata the crown prince. Heartbroken, he returned and sank into sorrow. When Devavrata learned the reason behind his father's misery, he went to Satyavati's father. He vowed, "I will never become king." The fisherman asked, "But what if you have children? They may claim the throne." Then Devavrata took the most severe vow in history. "I will remain a lifelong celibate. I will renounce marriage and children forever." This unimaginable sacrifice convinced Satyavati. Devavrata was given the name Bhishma, the terrible one. The one who took a vow so fierce that even the gods trembled. Shantanu later married Satyavati. Mahabharata often revolves around revenge, but before Draupadi, there was another woman whose heart burned with revenge. Amba. Her story would eventually determine the fate of Bhishma himself.
Her vengeance was against Bhishma, the one who changed her life against her will. Burning with humiliation and pain, Amba took a vow. "I will be the cause of Bhishma's destruction, birth after birth." And in her next life, she became Shikhandi, the reason for Bhishma's fall. Shantanu and Satyavati had two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. Chitrangada was arrogant. One day in the forest, he crossed paths with a Gandharva named Chitrangada. They argued over having the same name, and in the battle that followed, Prince Chitrangada was killed. Now only Vichitravirya remained, who was either unfit for marriage or uninterested in it. Bhishma had already taken the vow of celibacy. The future of the Kuru dynasty hung in balance. A kingdom that Bhishma never wanted to rule, he continued to protect for the sake of the lineage. The king of Kashi arranged a Swayamvar for his three daughters, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, but did not invite the Kurus because he didn't want them to marry Vichitravirya. Bhishma could not tolerate this insult and went to the Swayamvar himself. There the princes laughed at him, mocking him for coming despite being old and for not marrying. In anger, Bhishma abducted all three princesses. King Salva, who loved Amba, fought Bhishma but was defeated. Earlier, women used to choose their own husbands, but now they were being taken by force. Amba, who loved Salva and had already placed the garland on him, told Bhishma that he could not take her by force. Bhishma said she now belonged to the Kuru dynasty and would marry Vichitravirya. But Vichitravirya rejected Amba because she had already chosen someone else. Amba returned to Salva, but Salva said he would not accept a woman given away as charity and insisted that she marry Vichitravirya or Bhishma. Both refused her. Amba then demanded that Bhishma marry her, but Bhishma said he had taken a vow of lifelong celibacy and could never break it. Amba's despair turned into fury, and fury into a burning desire for revenge. She asked, "Is there no warrior who can kill Bhishma?" But Bhishma was a warrior so great that no one dared to fight him. Moreover, Shantanu had blessed Bhishma with the boon of Iccha-Mrityu, the power to choose the time of his own death. This made him almost immortal, and no one dared to challenge him. Amba went to the Himalayas and performed intense penance. She prayed to Kartikeya for Bhishma's death. But Kartikeya said, "I have renounced violence." He went to Kumara Parvat in Karnataka and left his sword there. But before that, he gave Amba a lotus garland and said, "Whoever wears this garland will be able to kill Bhishma." Amba searched for a warrior who would wear the garland and fight Bhishma, but no one agreed. She then went to King Drupada with the lotus garland and asked him to kill Bhishma. But Drupada feared even touching the garland and refused to meet her. In despair, Amba hung the garland in a pillar in Drupada's palace. Drupada worshipped the garland from a distance but never dared to touch it. Amba again returned to the Himalayas and began penance. Shiva appeared before her and said, "You yourself will kill Bhishma." Amba replied, "I am a woman and he is a mighty warrior. How can I kill him?" Shiva blessed her. "In your next life, you will be able to kill Bhishma and enjoy the fulfillment of your revenge." Amba gave up her body and was reborn. With Shiva's blessing, Amba reincarnated as Drupada's daughter. When she grew up, she wore the lotus garland from her past life. Drupada became terrified and drove her out of the palace. But Shikhandi, remembering her past life, did not fear anything. She went into the forest and through penance transformed into a man. King Vichitravirya ruled for 7 years, but due to physical weakness, he died young. Satyavati was left without any heirs for the throne. She requested Bhishma to rule, but he refused because of his vow. Satyavati then asked sage Vyasa to father children with Ambika and Ambalika. Ambika's son Dhritarashtra was blind. Ambalika's son Pandu became king. Pandu died early, so Dhritarashtra managed the kingdom. Dhritarashtra's wife Gandhari had 100 sons, the Kauravas. Pandu's wives Kunti and Madri had 5 sons, the Pandavas. From childhood, the Kauravas and Pandavas were rivals. The Pandavas excelled in warfare and disputes began over the right to inherit the kingdom. Dhritarashtra, being blind and partial, sent the Pandavas away to Indraprastha. The Pandavas built a magnificent new capital and performed the Rajasula Yajna, raising their fame and the jealousy of the Kauravas. Bhishma repeatedly tried to counsel Duryodhana, but he never listened. Duryodhana later won everything from the Pandavas in the game of dice and attempted to disrobe Draupadi in the royal court, while Bhishma remained silent. Bhishma called himself a slave of wealth and endured this injustice, a stain that he carried throughout his life.
In the end, despite the wise political efforts of Sri Krishna, the war between the Kauravas and Pandavas could not be avoided. Both sides prepared for battle. Bhishma, the grandsire of both Kauravas and Pandavas, was old in age. But due to his celibate and disciplined life, he remained extremely powerful and an unmatched warrior. When it was time to choose the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and others advised making Bhishma the commander. Duryodhana accepted this. Bhishma agreed to become the commander and said, "I consider both Kauravas and Pandavas equal, but I will fulfill my duty. I will not kill any of the Pandavas." He also told Duryodhana to consult Karna. When Karna heard this, he told Duryodhana that he would not fight under Bhishma's command. He would join the war only when Bhishma was killed or removed as commander. Also, Karna put forth another condition. He would kill only Arjuna, not the other Pandavas. Under Bhishma Pitamah's leadership, the Kaurava army advanced on the Kurukshetra battlefield like the waves of the ocean. Now comes the crucial 10th day, when Shikhandi became the cause of Bhishma Pitamah's fall. On the 10th day, the Pandavas adopted a strategy. They placed Shikhandi at the front, with Arjuna's chariot right behind him. This plan was made on the advice of Sri Krishna. Bhishma already knew he would not fight Shikhandi, so the moment he saw Shikhandi, he avoided confrontation. Shikhandi took advantage of this and rained sharp arrows upon Bhishma. Arjuna too shot arrows continuously from behind. When Shikhandi targeted Bhishma's chest, Bhishma's eyes turned red with anger. Yet he remembered his vow and refused to fight Shikhandi. The shower of Shikhandi's arrows intensified, and Arjuna kept shooting alongside him. Bhishma remained calm, but when Arjuna broke his armor then, Bhishma launched a divine weapon to stop Arjuna, but Arjuna intercepted it mid-air. At that moment, Bhishma realized that this would be the last battle of his life. Just as Bhishma was about to step down from his chariot, Arjuna's arrows shattered his shield and pierced his body. The countless wounds caused Bhishma to fall headlong from his chariot. The moment Bhishma fell, the Pandava army shouted in triumph, while panic spread through the Kaurava ranks. Bhishma had fallen, but his body did not touch the ground, because the arrows lodged in his body held him above the earth like a bed of spikes. A divine radiance flowed from his body. As soon as Bhishma Pitamah, the great-grandfather of both Kauravas and Pandavas, fell, the war halted. All the leaders of both sides gathered around him. Everyone bowed their heads in reverence, standing at his feet. Bhishma said, "My head is hanging and tired. Give me a support." He asked Arjuna, who placed an arrow into the ground, creating a pillow of arrows beneath Bhishma's head. Bhishma then said, "I do not wish to give up my body yet. The sun is still in its southern course. When the sun enters Uttarayan, only then will I leave my body. Whoever among you survives the war must come to see me on that day." After this, Bhishma said to Arjuna, "I am thirsty. Give me some water." Arjuna immediately shot an arrow on Bhishma's right side into the earth. From that spot, a cool stream of water burst forth. Bhishma quenched its thirst from it. Bhishma said to Duryodhana standing nearby, "Son Duryodhana, did you see how Arjuna quenched my thirst? Is there any warrior equal to Arjuna? There is no other hero like him in the whole world. There is still time. Make peace and live a happy life together." But Bhishma's words felt bitter to Duryodhana. He quietly walked away. When Karna heard that Bhishma Pitamah was lying wounded on the battlefield, he rushed to him. Bowing down, he said, "Pitamah, I never understood why you always disliked me." Bhishma looked at Karna, placed his hand on his head and said, "Karna, you do not know who you truly are. You are not a charioteer's son. You are the eldest son of Kunti. Narada informed me of this. I never hated you, but because of your loyalty to Duryodhana, you stood against the Pandavas, and that felt wrong to me. I admire your generosity and bravery. I wish you could be friends with the Pandavas." Karna replied, "I know I am Kunti's son, yet it was Duryodhana who gave me honor. It is my duty to stand by him. Leaving him in this crisis would be a sin, a betrayal of friendship. Forgive me for anything I have done toward you." Bhishma answered, "Do what your heart tells you, but remember, victory always belongs to righteousness." After 18 days of fierce battle, the Pandavas achieved victory. All the Kaurava warriors were slain. Before taking charge of the kingdom, Yudhishthira went to the bed of arrows where Bhishma lay. In response to Yudhishthira's questions, Bhishma imparted deep and powerful lessons on politics and statecraft. When the sun entered Uttarayan, Bhishma left his body by his own will. The life of Bhishma Pitamah is not merely the story of a warrior. It is the story of an ideal son, an unmatched renunciant, and the very embodiment of dharma. Such souls are born once in ages and inspire for ages. He taught that true strength does not lie only in weapons, but also in vows, sacrifice, and righteousness. Bhishma's life teaches us that sometimes silent resolve and unwavering commitment are the greatest forms of courage. If you found this video inspirational and informative, then like it, comment which fact amazed you the most, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories of dharma, history, and culture.